What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. And I just got a very small batch back in from AFA. Kind of a random hodgepodge of figures. And I just thought I'd show them to you really quickly. I got great scores on all three. And I actually included these as part of a slightly larger shipment, but the Action Figure Grader forgot that for loose figures, you have to do it on a different tier with AFA than you do carded figures. So carded figures, you can still do the standard time frame of about 2 months, but with loose figures, you do have to pay up to do the express grading service, which is about 4 weeks. So why I forgot that, even though I've talked about it at length in like a million videos on my channel, I have no idea. But I am not very intelligent. So anyway, the long story short is they went ahead and graded the loose ones and sent those back since they're on a different time tier or grading tier versus the some of the other figures I sent in. And they just came back today, and I got great scores. You already see the score here of my bagged Emperor. It came back with a 90, which is pretty awesome. And I'll just show you the label real quick. This is a 1984 Kenner Star Wars bagged Emperor ESB-C bag Emperor 90. I got a near mint plus to mint. And you know, when they're grading a bagged figure, it is very difficult to get a high score on these because they take into account the condition of the figure as well as the bag. So the bag, you know, you can see here the bag has got really deep blue colors. There's no rub on the Kenner or the Made in Hong Kong kind of typeface on the bag. So, you know, it's really truly a near mint bag. But, you know, if you want to get that 90 score, the bag has got to be in mint condition. There can be no holes in the bag. The bag can't have like dimples and tears or anything like that. And then the figure itself is also graded. So to get a near mint 90, near mint plus really to slash mint score on a bagged figure is very, very difficult. And I can tell you the only reason I got this high of a score is that there was a gentleman on Facebook over in the United Kingdom that I guess scored like a huge overstock purchase from, you know, somebody who had like a bunch of Kenner overstock. And he had like all kinds of different bagged figures as well as boxed mailer boxes that were basically mint. And I got 2 mailer boxes. I got this Emperor here. I paid $11 for this, which is crazy. So I got a really good deal on such a near mint item. And then they also had bagged 3POs, which is what this is. Now the negative is with these kind of overstock is that sometimes the Kenner employee or Palatoy, whoever it was, I assume it's Kenner stuff that he had. You know, when they put them in bags and they're overstocked, sometimes they don't seal them. And that was the case with my 3PO here, is that he was put in a bag, you know, mailer bag very similar to what this Emperor's in. So I bought it as a bagged 3PO. I was like, man, where am I ever going to get a bagged 3PO for 11 or 12 bucks? I'm not. So I bought it as a bagged 3PO, but because it's overstocked, sometimes they don't seal the bags. And that was the case with this one. It had like just some tape that somebody threw on there. I know the seller didn't do it because he just, you know, he had a bunch of overstock that was untouched. And so, unfortunately, they could not grade him as a bagged figure. They could grade him as just a loose figure. And so that's what they did. You know, in all those little mailer bags, the netting for these removable limbs 3POs came in a different little mini bag. So when AFA graded this, they graded the 3PO loose along with, you know, they kept the actual netting or the, you know, the little netting for when he's apart, like in Empire Strikes Back. They keep that in the sealed bag. But he came back with a fantastic score. Here's a closer view of him if I can get my camera to focus. I mean, that is just as dead mint as you can get. And here's the score on it. It came back with a 90 also. C3PO, removable limbs, no COO. I don't think, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I don't think any of the removable limb 3POs had a country of origin mark on the back of the leg. So, but, you know, there's the bag, as you can see, the netting that, you know, he came with. And so they did have to take him out of that little mailer bag, but, I mean, I guess still got a 90 score on it for an $11 figure. I will take that all day long, given what people are trying to get for 90 graded C3POs on eBay. So I got 2 90s, and then I also had just randomly, this was in a pile of stuff that I had, and I thought it looked good enough to get graded. So I went ahead and got him graded. This is Tebow, a very interesting Ewok. I don't really have many Ewoks. I've got that Ewok glider that I showed you, and I've got a few other bootlegs and things like that, and a Lily Letty that are being graded right now. But I thought this guy looked like he'd be good enough to get graded, and he did come back with an 85, so here he is. Loose action figure Taiwan COO, Tebow. Now, there are a few different country of origin variants. There is a no COO that came on the Tri-Logo cards. Those are very common. There's also a Lily Letty. There's a Lily Letty versions made in Mexico for all of these figures. And so I have seen them. I don't have any of them in the Lily Letty version. The most expensive, obviously, would be the 3PO. It's really hard to find a high-grade Lily Letty 3PO, either removable limbs or the standard 3PO. So very, very expensive item. Even like ones in the 70s and 80s, 70, 75, they can go for many, many hundreds of dollars. So very difficult to find those in high grades. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen an 85 graded Lily Letty, either regular 3PO, first 12 3PO, or the removable limbs. I've never seen one in person, or even for sale or anything like that. So I'm sure they're out there, but I've never seen one. But yeah, they also do make an Emperor Lily Letty version. He can come with either a cane that looks very similar to this, or a Ewok cane that was an error that was very common. I can't remember which Ewok it was, but it did come with a cane that was really an Ewok item as far as memory. It might be like Chief Chirpa, if memory serves me. And then so this Tebow. So I've seen all 3 of those in Lily Letty, and and he also has a no COO version that was over in England or in Europe on the Tri-Logo cards. But I got 3 great scores. Very excited about it. It's a very small shipment. I've got 3 other items from this original grouping that I sent back. They won't be back for about another month, but there are some really cool ones too. So we'll take a look at those whenever they get here. But I just thought I'd show you guys some items that just came back from AFA. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.